Hello everybody and welcome back, or welcome for the first time if you're new here, to a kind of new video format that will follow a similar structure to my normal reviews, but these are more for indie games that maybe you want to try out or you're not too sure on, or you haven't heard much about from other official sources or channels. The recommendation for this sort of format and me covering smaller games in little mini reviews like this actually comes from over on my Patreon. Every month I ask my patrons and YouTube members what they'd like to see on the channel, if there's any games they want in particular or certain formats or videos, and from Hazit Mirza, one of our lovely heroes over on Patreon, asked if I can cover some smaller VR games from time to time, just to give them a bit of a limelight and maybe show off some games that you might not be aware of. So today is exactly that. Today we're taking a look at Shave and Stuff on PSVR2, a game that I didn't think much of, but I came away quite impressed despite it maybe not offering you a vast amount of hours like a larger AA or AAA game, of course, but it is quite a fun little game that's polished and done well, so let's talk about it. But before we do that, if you're a regular viewer, you know what's coming. Only 20% of you are subscribed to the channel, so if you want to do so, it's free. It'll help us get to 10,000 subs, which is the goal, and I'm hoping to do something fun for the 10,000 celebration, so please do feel free to do that. It's free to unsubscribe later as well, so that would be appreciated, but I understand if not. Anyway, let's go on to the stuff you're actually here for. Shave and Stuff has a very simple loop. You get presented with a customer that you'll have to, cut the hair of, or later on, give a tattoo, and you've got to try your hardest to transform them, give them a makeover to the best of your ability, and then you'll get graded on a scale of 3 stars at the end of it. Visually, the game looks good, and because even though there are options for smooth movement and locomotion around the area that you're in, but you don't really need it, and I didn't really use those options at all, you're actually just walking around your space, so I didn't actually get to really tell whether it was reprojected or not. It didn't feel reprojected, but it could be that because there's no smooth turning, at least I didn't turn it on, even though that is an option in the menus, I didn't notice any reprojection at all, but I'd imagine this is native. Edges are very, very sharp, everything looks good, and because of the indie style here and the art style that I do vibe with, it lends itself to looking good in the headset. It's very vibrant on the OLED panels, and visually and performance-wise, I came away very impressed, as we do get a lot of indie games in this sort of, not genre, but the echelon and tier that come in and they haven't been polished at all as a port. This has been, there's been work put in here, haptics are used and everything like that, so I'm happy with it. Now, the moment-to-moment gameplay is pretty fun, but also can get old after maybe 30 minutes or so. You're essentially just using different tools after a customer comes in to give them a makeover to how they want. You'll get a picture of how they want to look, and you've got to try your best to match that using all sorts of trimmers, scissors, different spray paint colors, and magical hair regrowth tools. There's quite a small margin for error for some of these, and it genuinely can be a lot of fun to try and get that challenge down and to nail each look of each customer that comes in. And it's very easy to make mistakes and quite hard to rectify sometimes, but it gives you creative freedom to kind of do what you want, and it can be quite funny when you completely butcher a look of a customer. There's also a surprising amount of simulated physics here for hair and for the people that you're working on. If you push them around or adjust their seat, their heads will kind of bobble a bit like actual humans, and it allows you to get into little places, maybe on their neck or around their ears that are quite hard to reach from a normal angle. Similarly, when you're spraying their hair, it will move and deform like hair actually does when pressure is being applied to it, which is really cool. They didn't need to do that, but it's actually simulated here. As you progress through and take more orders and complete them, you'll unlock a harder mode, which is the tattoo parlor, where you'll have to fully deck them out with earrings, tattoos, and the usual hair and beard makeover. And past that, you'll unlock creative mode, where you can set your own parameters and just go free and wild with it. For most people, this game won't keep them around for many, many hours, but it is a fair bit of fun. It's polished, and if it looks like you'll enjoy it, it's exactly what it looks like on the tin. You're not going to be disappointed if you know what you're getting yourself into, and despite the replay value getting a little old after a while, I'd happily recommend it to somebody who is genuinely interested in this. So yeah, Shave and Stuff is a polished little game that will get old after an hour or two, but reminds me of the inception of VR back when Job Simulator came out, not in terms of the quality of this game being similar to a 2016 VR game or anything, but that sort of creative freedom and fun that VR often gives, and quite a charming little package. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Thank you to our patrons Luke Bentley, Phil Irving, Hazit Mirza, Ace Gamer, and Hippie Pickle, and thank you to our YouTube member, Jin007, a license to chill. If you want to join the Patreon or YouTube membership, all those links will be down in the description below. Thank you for watching once again, and I hope to see you all in the next one.